Okay, Power Rangers Cosmic Fury Episode 3. This episode picked up where the last episode left off on, where our Rangers are teleported to a strange new planet covered in nothing but sand. And in this episode, it's our Rangers trying to adapt to this brand new planet, contact Earth, and find a way back home because Lord Zed is taken over the planet. And I really enjoyed the character moments we got in this episode once again, because everyone's trying to cope and figure out everything going on around them as they were just whisked off to a brand new planet with everything happening around them. And one of the characters you see struggling a lot in this episode is Ion, because, you know, he's the one that says, hey, we need to figure out a way to get back home, we need to stop Lord Zed, and we need to find Zato. And you sort of see him trying to cope with everything going on. Like Amelia says, hey, why don't you cook, because cooking will help you feel better. And even cooking, Ion's still a little bit angry because, you know, his best friend's out there. And he was only home for like less than a day, and he goes missing after being supposedly dead for a year. So Ion's sort of trying to come to terms with everything going on. But not only that, he does get a cool hero moment in this episode where he's able to distract one of the monsters and get him away. But one thing I do like about this episode is our Rangers don't have their powers. Well, they no longer have their powers, and at the end of the episode they get their powers, which is something I'll talk about near the end of the review, recap, whatever you want to call it. And I really like this episode because they're on this desert planet, they're trying to look for food, they're trying to survive, they're trying to find a way to contact home with the Zato antenna that he used back in early seasons of Dino Fury. I really like that. Really cool callback that item came back into play in this episode, as they need to find a way to contact home and get in contact with whoever they can. So they use that antenna. But one thing I find really silly is, like, they've sort of got the protection out in the sun, but Amelia is walking around, well, most of the Rangers are walking around in jackets and jeans and long sleeve t-shirts because they're in the desert. I don't know how scorching hot the sun is, but they're in jackets, which is really, really weird, really silly, but hey, it is Power Rangers. Fashion isn't important. Desert and heat stroke can come later. But they find this worm alien and it hatches into a monster of the week. Looked really cool. Looked like really cool design with like the puppetry that they used for the worm, and then it turns into like a tentacle monster of the week, or like a worm monster of the week. While this is going on, you've got Ollie. He's still evil. He's still a douchebag. Confirmed, he's still evil, because there's this moment where he approaches his mum and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And she gets a message from Mick, and we find out where Zato is. He's on a planet called Lefenia, I think. Lefina? I probably butchered that name. But Zato's on the planet and Mick knows where he is, and Ollie, hearing that message, he takes the laptop, takes it to Zed, and Zed offers him a gift from Skrozzle. So Skrozzle's invented something for Ollie because Ollie's loyal to Zed now, which I kind of know what that is because I've seen the spoilers, unfortunately, but I'll talk about that when we get to it later on in the episode. We also get some really nice moments in this episode between Fern and Izzy, where Izzy's concerned about Fern, but Fern is like really bubbly, really optimistic. She has this nice moment where she says to Izzy, saying, hey, when we get back to Earth, college can wait. And she's just hanging out with the crew. She's like sort of learning stuff from Billy here and there. So I know what's going to happen to Fern later down the line, but not only that, she's wearing orange, so it kind of screams what's going to happen to her later on in the show. But Billy invents the Cosmic Fury Morphers and the Cosmic Fury powers, something that I predicted like ages ago, like over a year ago. I predicted something like this might happen, and ding ding ding, I was right, which was great to see, because I was wondering if Billy would actually invent these powers or not, but he does. He's able to harness the Morphin Master's staff and create the Cosmic Fury Morphers, giving them their brand new suits and powers and weapons. Now, the Cosmic Fury suits, they've been a hot topic ever since day one. Love them or hate them. Seeing them in motion and seeing them move about in the show, they still look weird, but they're alright looking. I never hated them. They were always, I feel like they just felt a bit bland in the middle with the chest piece, like the torso piece, and I feel like they should have kept that Soldier Lightning bolt going down across the chest piece. But then when you see the games and stuff like that, you see like sort of like the armor, the shoulder pad armors that they've got, that's a little bit longer, with that design. So I do wonder if that was sort of like a stunt thing that they had to do so the stunt people can move around a lot more, because like I said, with Legacy Wars, the chest piece that Amelia has and Izzy has is a lot like longer, like the sort of like the chest piece going down. So I do wonder why that was like adjusted. But Amelia's the Red Ranger, and Billy says that the Morphin Grid must have chosen her for a reason, so that's why she's sort of the Red Ranger now. But I do like how she's confused, saying, oh, I'm a darker shade of pink, and then she takes off the helmet, and she sees that she's the Red Ranger, which was a really nice moment. But we've also got like cameos from Commander Shaw in this episode, because Lord Zed's sort of force field is stopping Zords all across from Earth from stopping the alien invasion, so they're sort of hinting that there's like other Ranger teams out there doing something, but we can't see it because like Lord Zed is stopping their Zords, so there's that going on. Like that's sort of like a big cock tease, so we could be seeing like Zords from Power Rangers history, but we don't see them because, you know, force fields are stopping them, so we've got that in place. So that happens. But the episode ends with the Rangers getting a call from Mick, and Ollie is going there to intercept that call, so we'll have that confrontation, but the Rangers are going to use their brand new powers to stop Lord Zed's forces and find out some information on Zato. So overall, this was a pretty good episode. I feel like this episode had some great character moments. Funny Lord Zed moment where he's watching like Squillia make a TikTok and he's hating it every moment of it, which is kind of funny. Fred's doing a good job as Zed from so far. Like some moments, like he's good at emoting as Zed, and I feel like there's some scenes that maybe like they could have the filter over, but I'm used to the voice and I'm still loving it. And Ollie Evil is pretty good as well. Like Kai's performance as Evil Ollie is great as well. But this episode was really great because, like I said, good character moments between Izzy and Fern and Amelia and Ion and stuff like that, and Billy inventing powers, and he's helping Harvey out, sort of like tune his guitar. That was great because Harvey's still coming to terms with his arm being a robot now, because he's like stringing, he's trying to play the guitar and he's just breaking all the strings, but Billy helps him out. But I do like the sort of like jokey line they did have at the start of the episode where Billy's sort of talking about his life as a Morphin Ranger. He's like, oh, I was the Triceratops Ranger, and then I became the Wolf Ranger. And Solon's like, oh, that's a bit of a downgrade. I like that tongue-in-cheek moment they have. So having Solon and Billy in this episode is pretty good because they're really smart and they can bounce off each other, and Solon's there to translate Billy's techno-gargan that he does, which Yost has still got it. Like, I love seeing David Yost as Billy in Cosmic Fury. Like, he fits so naturally in with the cast and with everything going on around him. So that's something that I do like as well. But overall, this episode was really solid. No cam on today for this review, or tonight, because I'm in my pajamas as I recorded this video. So, and I'm getting a little bit tired from watching the show because it is getting late, but I'm still kicking, still watching it and still enjoying it. But what did you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day or night. I'll see you guys later. Peace.